All right, part 2, it says, write an equation of line that's perpendicular to the given line, below and also to the given point. Write your answer in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. However, they don't give us a nice, easy equation here, Brett, to pull the slope out from. They gave us standard form, 4x plus 9y equals 9. So I've got to take that standard form and I've got to find the slope of it. So this is good practice. So how do I get the y by itself here? What's my first step? Someone in the third row, someone from Noah all the way over to Matt. How do I get the y by itself? What's my first step? Ingrid, Zach, Matt, go ahead. That's x and y intercepts. How do I get this y by itself? Zach? Let's minus the 4x, because we want to get the y by itself. So that gives us 8y equals negative 4x plus 9. Is the y by itself yet? Still got an 8 attached to it. How do I get rid of that 8? The 8 is connected with multiplication. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So I have y equals negative 1/2 x plus 9/8. What was my purpose in doing that? I'm trying to find the what? Slope. This is the slope, TJ, of the original line, like we did on the first page. So over here to the left, let's put down m equals negative 1/2. Then below that, let's put m perpendicular. What's the perpendicular slope? 2 over 1, or just 2. 2 over 1, or 2. So put a box around that. Now we come over here, y minus y1, m, x minus x1. Let's plug it in. Someone from TJ all the way over to Brittany, someone in that middle row there. Plug it in for me. Who can help? Go ahead, Brett. X minus 3, good. Distribute for me. Mr. Switek, can you do that? Good. John, how do I get this minus 4 over to the right? Add it. Brittany, what's my final?
Y equals 2x minus 2.
Let's compare. Slope of the original line, negative 1/2. Slope of the new line, 2x. Are they perpendicular? Yeah. They sure are. We got this point, plugged it in. The only information we got from this line was the slope. That's all you need. So if you drew these accurately on a graph, you hopefully see that they made a right angle. Good way to check your graph, take the corner of your paper, slide it into the corner, it should be a 90 degrees. If it fits, then you know your graph was pretty accurate. So that's our slope-intercept. Up here, Haley, this form right here, do you remember what that one's called? Good, point slope. That's where you're always going to start. And this one down here is called slope-intercept. And what did we start with? What was this one called, Zach?
Standard form.
Yeah, that one was called standard form. And Jalan, standard form, as a reminder, x's and y's are on the same side, no fractions. So there's the 3 forms right there. Questions? If I'm graphing this, where do I start? Negative 2. Where do I go? Up 2 over 1. Okay? A couple little reviews there. All right, let's look down here. Part 3, our last one. This is kind of short. It says, are the lines below parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Identify the slope of each and then relate them. Okay. Well, who can give me the slope of any one of those 4? Pick one out. Jalan? Slope of this one's negative 2. Okay. Can anyone give me a slope of any of the other 3? Slope of any of these three. Third one's 2. All right. 8 and 10 are a little harder, aren't they? How am I going to find the slope of 8 or 10? What do you need to do to 8? Get the y by itself. So we subtract 4x. 8y equals negative 4x plus 16. Is the slope negative 4? Not necessarily, because Gabe, the y is not by itself. So I divide by 8. And what's my slope? What's negative 4 divided by 8? Well, the 4 is smaller, so negative 1/2. Right? Then we look at 10. Is 10 got the y by itself? 2x is over there. How do we move that negative 2x over? We add it. So we add 2x to both sides. So that gives us y equals 2x plus 10. What's my slope there? 2. All right, so now we can analyze. We've figured the slopes of all of them. Are any of the lines parallel? Remember, parallel lines have to have what? Brett, go ahead. Okay, so what's parallel? Okay, so 9 is parallel to 10. Okay, there's our first idea. Anything else parallel? Okay, is anything perpendicular? Jalon? 7 and 8. Why do you say? What? Why? Okay, why are they not perpendicular? Not going to let you off the hook here. What makes something perpendicular? 2 things. Do you remember what the 2 things are? Who remembers my 2? Brett? Opposite and? Okay. So I'm looking for numbers that are opposite and reciprocal. Give me some ideas. Brittany?
8 is perpendicular to 9 and 10.
8 is perpendicular to 9? And 8 is perpendicular to 10. Because negative 1/2 is the opposite reciprocal of 2 over 1. You flip it upside down, and you take the opposite. So what's the opposite of a negative? A positive. So they're not only flipped, but they're also the opposite. So how does number 7 relate to number 8? Is there any relationship? No. They just happen to have 2's and 1's, and they're both negative. But either way, those are the only relationships that we're talking about in terms of parallel and perpendicular. Now, to get those, Sam, we've got to solve for y for everything to extract out that slope in order to find it there. Okay, so that's the idea of perpendicular.